हो गया।
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर।
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
लो वीडियो भी ऑन करते हैं।
गुड मॉर्निंग सर।
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
मैथ्स मैथ्स थोड़ी ना है यार।
Okay. So let me unmute one student. Akanksha, you should unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Tell me today what we are supposed to do or what we are supposed to study.
Today we will start chapter 4, pollination.
Okay. So come to direct on the screen. I'm going to open the book. Okay. So are you able to see the book first? Let me know. And is there any problem regarding the voice clarity? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Any problem regarding voice clarity?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, very good. So let us begin. Today we are going to study about the pollination. As you can see here, let me make it large so that you can understand. Pollination. First of all, we have to understand the meaning of pollination. What is the meaning of pollination? The process in which pollen is taken from one plant or part of a plant to another so that new plant seeds can be produced. So this process is called pollination. As you can see in the picture, that pollination by butterfly, bird and bee. This is a picture of bee and this is a picture of bird. With the help of these things, pollination happens. So pollination by butterfly, bird and bee here in this picture. Now let us begin here. We will learn about after studying this chapter. So what you will learn mainly about these things. These 5 points. Points number 1 is written parts of a flower. Means we are going to study in deeply and we are going to understand in a deeper form about pollination, the parts of a flower, Androsium and Gynecoma. Bisexual and monosexual flowers. Means so many kinds of flowers are there in the world. So actually we are going to study about the types of flowers and how they live and what kind of things are there, what are the features and what are the benefits. All things we are going to study about flowers only in these chapters. So first we will understand about pollination, in which we'll understand the first point, which is parts of a flower, Androsium and Gynecoma. Then second is bisexual and monosexual flower, process of pollination, then self and cross pollination. About these 5 points we are going to understand in a deeper way. So let us begin one by one. Is there any problem regarding voice clarity, Ayushi?
No, sir.
Okay. We know that reproduction is an essential life process of any living organisms for its survival. Yes, we know that reproduction is the main important part of our life, means for all human beings or the living organisms. In most of the plants, this life process is carried out by the flower. So in most of the plants, this life process is carried out by the flower only. The flower is responsible for producing seeds which grow into a new plant. See, just because of the flower, seeds produce. Okay, just because of the flower, seeds produce. The flower is responsible for producing seeds which grow into a new plant, and just because of the seeds we get the new plant. Now we are going to study about the parts of a flower. We know that many parts of flowers are there, so we are going to discuss in detail here. A flower has 4 distinct parts called whorls. WHORLS, whorls. You will pronounce it as whorls. Like you speak world, but here you need to say whorls. A flower has 4 distinct parts called whorls. So actually, a flower has 4 distinct parts. These 4 distinct parts called whorls. Number 1 is calyx. What is calyx? The outermost whorl is known as calyx. So the outermost whorl means the topmost, which is on top. The outermost whorl is known as calyx. It consists of green leaf-like structures known as sepals. They protect the flower in the bud stage. The next is corolla. The second whorl is known as corolla. It is made up of colorful structures known as petals. Petals are colorful and fragrant, so that insects and other animals are attracted towards them. Okay, petals, what is petal? Petals are colorful and fragrant. Actually, petals are the beautiful parts of the flower. It is colorful and fragrant. Fragrant means khushbu. In petals, you have the khushbu, means mahak. So just because of that, insects and animals are attracted towards them. Now come to at page number 49. Before beginning the page number 49, let us read about the fact. Fact is also given. Fact is important. Long ago, people thought that living things come from dead, once alive or non-living. What? You said something. Ayushi, you said something.
No, sir.
Okay, so long ago people thought that living things come from dead. Earlier people used to think that living things come from dead, once alive. Okay. Or non-living, never alive matter. This was, however, disapproved by Louis Pasteur. He established the belief that complex living things come only from other living things by means of reproduction. So let us see about first the Androsium, about Androsium. The third whorl is known as Androsium. These things, whatever I am telling you, you have to keep, all of you need to keep it in your mind. Okay, first one was first whorl was calyx, and another one was what? Corolla. Then this third one is Androsium. The third whorl is known as Androsium. It is made up of stamens. What is stamens? A stamen has 2 main parts. Then a stamen has 2 main parts. The tube-like portion is known as filament, and the capsule-like structure at the top is known as anther. The anther produces a powdery substance called pollen grains, which contain the male reproductive cell. So the androsium is the male reproductive part of a plant. So the androsium is the male reproductive part of a plant. Now about gynecium, the whorl at the center. The whorl at the center is known as gynecium or carpel or pistil. See, gynecium has 3 names. First, gynecium, carpel, or pistil. You can call by any name. It has a swollen base known as ovary and a tube-like structure known as a style. The top of the tube is somewhat flattened and is known as stigma. Ovary has a very small bead-like ovules which develop into seeds. The ovules contain the female reproductive cells. Means here in androsium is the male reproductive cell and gynecium is the female reproductive cell. You can say like that. So the gynecium is the female reproductive part of a plant. And here a very beautiful picture is also given. With the help of picture, you can understand the structure of a flower. So this is the basic structure of a flower. This part is called thalamus and this part is called sepal. And here you are seeing this one in the middle one. The top uppermost part is called a stigma. Then this one is style, and this one is here. This one you can see here. This is called ovary, and all these three called pistil. Okay, you can say pistil. Then here you can see this part is called anther, and this one is called filament. This and these two you can say collectively you can say stamen, and this part is called petal and this part is called ovule. So this is the structure of a flower. Very important. I can ask it. I can ask you sometimes to all students, and I will make that picture based question in which I will say to label these parts. So I will just put the picture of this flower and rest of the parts you have to label it. So you have to keep it in your mind, the structure of a flower. Titbit, what is given in titbit box? The giant Amazon water lily is a nocturnal flower. Nocturnal flowers generally have strong fragrance and are white in color. This is a picture of that nocturnal white flowers. Now, one activity is given. Let us try to understand what is given here. The activity to be done by the teacher. Okay, this is to be done by the teachers only. Aim. What is the aim of this activity? To dissect a flower and study the parts. Okay, to dissect the flowers and study the parts. Like here, we have studied the parts of the flower here, the structure and the parts of the flower. What kind of materials we want for this? Materials, any flower. You can take any flowers, whether it is marigold, rose, hibiscus. Then scalpel, glass slides, blade for cutting longitudinal section of ovary. What is the method then? Method number one, your teacher will take out all sepals and petals of the flower and place them separately on a glass slide. Now he or she will carefully take out the stamens, observe the kind of stamens that the flower has. Next, she or he will cut the pistil. Lengthwise, can you see the ovules? Note down your observations, draw and label the different parts. So actually when school will reopen, so in the class, I will show you this activity. And here it is given the dissection of hibiscus and longitudinal section of a flower. Calyx, gynecium, androsium, and corolla.
Sir, what is the meaning of longitudinal?
Longitudinal means this part of the flower for cutting. Actually, you can understand in a better way when I will make you understand this one in the class, because this activity to be done by the teacher only, means it should be done by me only. So when school will reopen, so I'll make you understand in a better way, or else I will try to make an activity in YouTube, then I will upload it in your WhatsApp group or in campus care. Then you can understand from there in a better way, in which I will explain all those things. Okay.
Okay.
Because it is written here, it is written clearly here that it is to be done by the teacher. So when I will prepare an activity. If I will get a time, so I will make a YouTube video on this so that you can understand in a better way. Okay, now come to the next page at page number 50. Now here we are going to study about the complete and incomplete flower. What does that mean actually? What is complete and incomplete flower? A complete flower has all the four whorls. Okay, means those flowers which have these four whorls. Four whorls means you need to keep it in your mind. What are those four whorls? Can you name? Can you name them? Number one was calyx. Number second was corolla. Number third was what was that? Gynecium and Gynecium. So these four words you need to keep it in your mind always. A complete flower has all the four words. So those flowers which have these four things means Androsium, Gynecium, calyx, and corolla. So you can say that that flower is the complete flower. If one or more whorls are missing, then the flower is called incomplete. So if anyone is missing, any whorls, then that means that flower is incomplete. Means if a flower has calyx, Gynecium, Androsium, but it has no corolla, so that flower is incomplete. Out of these four whorls, two are essential and two are non-essential whorls. Okay, means these four whorls are there in which two are important and two are not important. So which one is important and which one is not important, essential or not essential? Let us discuss about it here. Essential whorls of a flower are those that are directly involved in reproduction. Okay, so essential means important. So essential whorls of a flower are those that are directly involved in reproduction. These whorls are Androsium and Gynecium. Means Androsium and Gynecium is the important whorls of for flowers. Okay, Androsium and Gynecium are two main important are essential parts of the flower, because just because of this reproduction happens. These whorls are Androsium and Gynecium. Non-essential whorls, you understood that non-essential, what are those two left? The calyx and the corolla has left. So these are non-essentials. So non-essentials whorls are the helping whorls that either protect the reproductive parts of the flower or help in reproduction indirectly. These whorls include sepals and petals. Okay, here it is written sepals and petals. Okay, not calyx and that corolla. Sepals and petals. So important whorls are Androsium and Gynecium, and non-essential or not important parts whorls are sepals and petals. All these, whatever I am making you understand, all these question will come in the exercises parts. It will come in fill in the blanks, then it will come multiple choice, true, false, match the following. So keep it in your mind also, whatever I am making you understand here. Before going to start this one, monosexual and the bisexual, first we have been given in this green box the fact is also important. Let us study about it. A sunflower looks like one large flower, okay, but each head is composed of hundreds of tiny flowers called florets, which ripen to become the seeds. See how important it is. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us discuss about the monosexual and bisexual flowers. On the basis of presence of male or female whorls, the flowers are of following types. Okay. Let us wait and try to understand here. What is written here? On the basis of presence of male or female whorls. Male whorls and female whorls. So you understood what is male whorls and what is female whorls. Tell me what is male whorls. Male whorls is Androsium and the female whorl is Gynecium. You understood? We had just now we had discussed it at page number 49, I think. We just now we
Yes,
had
sir.
that male world is Androsium and the female world is Gynecium. So on the basis of presence of male or female worlds, means on the basis of presence of Androsium and the Gynecium, the flowers are of following types. Number one, bisexual, and number two, monosexual. So what is bisexual flower? A flower which contains both stamen and pistil. Okay, a flower which contains both, means which has both things, stamen and the pistil, is called bisexual or complete flower. Okay, a flower which has stamen and pistil, both things, they are called bisexual or a complete flower. For example, hibiscus and rose. So keep these things in your mind because it will come in the exercises. A flower which contains both stamen and pistil. So whatever the flowers are there, if they have stamen and the pistil, both things, that flower will called bisexual, will be called bisexual and a complete flower. For example, hibiscus and rose. So if I will ask you a question afterwards, after making understand this theory, so I can ask like that, tell me the name of tell me the name of two bisexual flowers. Then you have to say hibiscus and rose. Bisexual flowers, hibiscus and rose. Now let us discuss about the monosexual. A flower which has only one of these worlds, that is only stamen or only pistil, is called monosexual. Okay. So I can ask question like that also. What is bisexual flower or what is monosexual flowers? So you can say in your own word like that, the flower or those flowers which have stamen and pistil, both things, they are called bisexual flower or complete flower. For example, hibiscus and rose. And those flowers which has only one, either stamen or else pistil, they are called monosexual. Only stamen or pistil is called monosexual or incomplete flower. For example, papaya, pumpkin and cucumber. Papaya, pumpkin and cucumber. The correct pronunciation is cucumber. No one will say cucumber. Okay, the pronunciation is cucumber. No one will say cucumber. Cucumber means khira. In Hindi it is called khira, and papaya and pumpkin already you understand. Okay, understood? Any problem?
No, sir.
Okay, so monosexual, this is the example of these are the examples of monosexual: papaya, pumpkin and cucumber. A monosexual flower which bears only stamen is called male or staminate flower. So a monosexual flower which bears only stamen is called male or staminate flower. A monosexual flower which bears only pistil is called female or stillate flower. So it is further divided that monosexual flower which bears only stamen is called male, and if it bears only pistil is called female. What is the meaning of bears here? Bears means janam dena. Okay, here bear means janam dena. So a monosexual flower which bears only stamen is called male or staminate flower. A monosexual flower which bears only pistil is called female or pistillate flower. Why I am repeating some sentences again and again, twice or thrice, so that we can fix it in our mind. We can keep it in our mind. Now, neuter flower. Now we are going to study about what is neuter flower. A flower in which both Androsium and Gynecium are missing. Okay. So those flowers which don't have these both things, neither it has Androsium or nor it has Gynecium. So those kind of flower will be called neuter flower. Okay, neuter flower. So I can ask in this way also, what is bisexual flower, what is monosexual flower, and what is neuter flower. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Examples of neuter flower is florets of sunflowers. Now we are going to study about actually the pollination. What is pollination now? The transfer of pollen grains, from anthers to the stigma by agents like wind, insects, and water is known as pollination. Means if birds has taken seeds or something in its beak and then it flew and it went, any other places, then it stopped it there. So their pollination happens, or sometimes it happens by the wind. Wind blew and so many seeds and all things went one place to another. Then in this way pollination happens. So this is the meaning of pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from anthers to the stigma by agents like wind, insects, and water is known as pollination. Pollination is of two types, namely self-pollination and cross-pollination. Now again, further it is divided pollination. There are two types of pollination, cross-pollination and self-pollination. When pollen grains of a flower are transferred to the stigma of the same flower or a different flower of the same plant, it is known as self-pollination. And what is then cross-pollination? When pollen grains from the anther of a flower are transferred to the stigma of another flower on a different plant of the same kind, it is known as cross-pollination. So this is the definition of self-pollination and cross-pollination. And here something is given in the tidbit box. Flowers of some cactus varieties have very short lifespan that of only a few hours. Oh, means cactus plants sometimes they have so many varieties of short lifespan. So many cactus plants live only for few hours only. Plants need. Now come to at page number, whatever page number 51. Plants, what was written here? Plants need the help of various agents to carry out cross-pollination. Wind, insects, birds, bats, and water are the different pollinating agents or pollinators. So here in the picture, types of pollination is given. Cross-pollination, and see this bee or insects, it flew from here to here, then here to here. This is called cross-pollination. Then here, at one place only, it has come from here to here only. So it will be called as self-pollination. Then here also self-pollination. It is not going backwards, but this bee is going backwards and forwards and both the places. It means it is going first here, then it is coming here, then it is coming here, then it is coming here. So this is called cross-pollination. But this kind of pollination means it has come from here only, then it went to another, but it did not go the same place where it has come in early. So this is called self-pollination. So this is the types of pollination. The picture is given. And now in the yellow box, something important is given. Flowers are classified on the basis of their lifespan also. Annuals, then biennials and perennials. Annual means what? Grow for only one season. These plants grow, bloom and die in 1 year. Example, cosmos, marigold and zinnia. So these kind of flower which lives for a year only or within a year they die, they are called annuals. And what is biennials or biennials? Grow from seed in the first year but bloom only during the second year. Example, parsley and sweet William Dwarf. This is the name of plants. So I will ask this one also. Give me the example of annual plants and give me the examples of biennial plants. Then perennials. Perennials are flowers that grow for several seasons but bloom for a limited time every year. Example, bougainvillea, then daylily and petunia. Now we are going to study about the pollination by wind. Here in this picture, we have seen the pollination by insects. This is the pollination by insects, cross-pollination or the self-pollination. Now we are going to study about the pollination by wind. How, with the help of wind, pollination happens. So let us understand here. Plants such as ice. I think something missing is here. It should be written rice. All of you write here rice. Plants such as ice is written. In your book also ice is written. Let me know, Ayushi.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Add R here. Add letter R. Ice is not. We already know na, that ice is not grain or plants.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Rice is grain, na. So sometimes in the book misprinting happens. So that's why it is written ice. Everyone, all of you, correct it. It is written rice. Just add R only. Letter R you just add. It will become rice. So it will be read as plants such as rice, wheat, maize, barley, and grass are pollinated by wind. So these kinds of grains, rice, wheat, maize, barley, and grass are pollinated by wind. Characteristic of wind pollinated flowers. What are the characteristics? Means features. The pollen grains very light, smooth, and non-sticky so that they can be transported by the wind currents. Very good. Second one, the pollen grains are produced in a large numbers since much of it gets wasted while being carried by the wind. The stamens are long and hang out of the flower. What is written here then now? And so that, it is written so that. What will you write here? You make it correct so that. It is written so that. Okay. Correct it. In the book, sometimes misprinting happens. Here it is written ice and here it is written SD, I think. So make it correct so that you write SO so only. The stamens are long and hang out of the flowers so that they are exposed to the wind. The anthers are long and loosely attached to the filaments so that the pollen can be easily blown away by the wind. The stigmas are feathery, sticky, and hang out of the flower to trap the pollen from the air. The flowers are usually small, dull colored, and without scent or nectar since it does not need to attract bees or birds. Here in the picture, pollination by wind is being shown here, pollen carried by wind. Okay, pollen caught on feathery stigma here. So pollination by insects. Pollination by insects will continue in the next class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
In a day, if I will teach the whole pages, then you will not understand anything. So that's why I will continue page number 51 and 52. Okay. Only page number 52 is left, but we will continue it in our next class, page number 52. Okay.
Okay, sir.
We begin from here. Pollination by insects. Pollination by wind. Till here we have studied. Pollination by winds will begin in the next class. So any problem? Understood?
No, sir.
Sure, I have made you understood. Any problem? Did you feel?
No, sir.
Did you feel boring?
No, sir.
Okay, let me talk to Mayank Keshri. Mayank Keshri, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
You understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell me the example of bisexual flower?
What,
Or
sir?
tell me. Okay, I'm asking you another question. Tell me the name of two worlds. There were four worlds were there. Now tell me only two worlds name. Two worlds name. Mayank Keshri.
Two words name.
Yes. Two worlds.
Corolla.
Very good. Very good.
Sex calcium. CALYX.
Calyx. Calyx. That is calyx.
Corolla and
Very good. Corolla and calyx. So you understood now? Any problem?
no,
Whatever
sir.
I have made you understand. Whatever I have made you understand, you understood.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Keep studying at home. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now let me unmute Trisha Tekriwal. Only 1 minute is left to end the class. So by the time I will ask some questions to some students. Are you listening, Trisha Tekriwal?
Yes,
Are you-
sir.
Okay. Tell me the name of four worlds.
Calyx and corals and Androsium.
And Gynecoma. Okay, bye everyone. Bye. I have unmuted to all of you. Bye.
जब वीडियो में ट्राई कर
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye everyone. Bye. Keep studying at home.
Bye, sir.
Bye, Tanya Shri, Trisha Tekriwal, Mayank